some movie scene. For all we know, this could be something, something amazing. So now we're gonna get it right and make it last forever and ever and ever. This time you and I, 'cause I'm not afraid to fly, as long as we're together, together. This time for the rest of our life.
Looks looking good. We can do 3 or 4 different colors.
To me, taxidermy is an important part of what we do. It tells a story. When we look at the mount that's hanging on the wall, big or small, it doesn't matter. What it does is it brings back all those memories, the people, the places, the smells, the sounds. It's truly an extension of the hunt, and it's a great way to honor the animal that we're lucky enough to harvest. This week I'm at good friend Mike Peebeck's shop, owner of Osage Taxidermy, and we are working on Julie's uncle's mule deer that he shot back in the 70s. Had been stuck in the barn and bleached out by the sun, and Mike is helping me bring back life into this beautiful mule deer.
Basically, we had to put life back into it because all of the sun damage and what was going on with the loss of velvet, we tried to airbrush it and try to bring some life back into the mount. I know he'll be pleasantly surprised with the result.
Well, this week we are headed down to eastern Colorado, down to my family's place to go mule deer hunting.
We can literally be to the places, the ranches that we hunt in about an hour and a half from the house, and we're hunting world-class whitetail and mule deer.
Well, Denny and Penny, they actually live on the place that my grandma and grandpa started. It has stayed in the family, and I love that.
Julie's uncle Denny is a great guy, big heart. He's definitely got a soft spot for Julie, but whenever I show up, I tend to get a little ribbon. He likes to tell me that he's, in a roundabout way, a better bow hunter than me. He typically talks about giant mule deer he shot back in the day with his recurve, and then he will either show me the rack or show me a picture. I know he's a bow hunter at heart. He has been for a long time, and that's kind of how we relate. And yeah, there's definitely a bond there.
Growing up on the ranch, we always had mule deer around, and they're just so pretty. There's something so majestic about them. And eastern Colorado has just grown some giants. So we're hunting a big valley, a big draw, and so our plan is to get up high and just spend the morning glassing.
We've come to the backside of one of these little high spots, and we're checking out a bunch of pockets back in here and areas where the deer may want to hang out. And the way Julie and I typically do it is we'll kind of set up so that we're sectioning off what we can see. And I've got one particular part straight out in front of me. She's looking to the south right now. And then we'll rotate. Each person sees things a little different. Trying to see if a deer, a shooter buck that we find will do the same thing more than once. If he does it more than once, there's a good chance we're going to develop a game plan to get in on him and maybe get close enough to make a good shot. And that's part of the fun anyway, seeing how close you can get. So we're going to keep picking this apart and see what we can find.
He was up on top on the wheat field, and
Sounds like the guys are feeding cattle to the south here, so they might have bumped him up into the draw, but he is a really cool looking deer, really wide. But we've got a deer spotted on the north side that looks really, really heavy. I think we're gonna try this buck if we can get into a spot to try to make a play on him. First glance, he definitely got my heart racing. After looking at him a little bit, he's lighter horned, and maybe a little bit crab clawed on the fronts. But again, for me, it's tough. So it's cool when the deer get your heart racing like that. That's a good morning. But he followed some does up over the next hill. And he bedded for a little bit, but he snuck on over, so we're gonna let him go to bed, and we're gonna sneak back down out of here and see if we can't go around and get an eye on the big buck that we saw in the CRP field. So it's really cool because there's also 2 does and another buck bedded to the west of us, a couple hundred yards. So they are on the move or on their feet for a little bit this morning, but everything's starting to go to bed, so we're gonna sneak out of here without getting caught. There's a small buck right up in the end of that draw. He's kind of deceiving because with your naked eye, his body, everything about him just looks like he ought to be a big buck. And we put the glasses on him, and he's just a young deer. He's a small buck, but he is bedded and taking a break for the day. So we're gonna keep walking and just kind of still hunt through here and pick up every draw.
You know, one of the best assets any spot and stalk hunter can have is patience, and this terrain definitely requires plenty of it. The challenge of hunting this ground is what honestly makes this place so special. Open spaces, tricky winds, and the lack of cover make it difficult to sneak up on some of these big bucks. After several encounters, 4 long days of hiking, and watching a handful of good bucks walk away, bedded deep in the shadows of a cut bank, we've finally located a buck we'd like to go after. Finally, we've got a big deer that's doing the same thing, and the best part about this is he's all alone. No other eyes, all by himself, dropping in this cut bank. This deer is doing exactly what we need.
He was on a mission the whole time. He came over the hill, dropped down in there, turned around, spun around a few times, stood there and looked out, and then laid down. And all you could see, you know, the top of the hill from where we were at, the bank covered his entire body, but all you could see was his rack sticking up, and you could, you know, watch him sit there and turn his head. In your mind, you're just trying to will that deer to stand up because you want to look at him, but he lays there all day long. If he decided to get up and go to the field early, we wanted to be ready.
We've literally got in tight to this big giant deer that's in his bed, and we're in the perfect position to make a shot. He comes out left or right of this blowout, and we know we've got a chance. Julie's got her field pod set up, got the 270 mounted in it. Now we sit back and the wait begins.
It's been hard to get a good look at him to see
how mature he is. I mean, his mass looks good and everything, but just would like to have him stand up where we're a little bit closer now and take a better look. There he's getting up. He's walking. Yeah, I think he's... So what, Rick? Okay, so what's the scoop?
The deer comes up out of the hole out of his bed, and he's in the perfect position, 100, 110 yards for Julie to make a great shot. And she continually asks me, "Are you ready?" And I keep telling her no.
Yes or no? He's gonna go up the hill, I think. I think he's gonna walk away from us. Are you serious?
Well,
It was a good night.
it was a great night, actually. We got in on a really nice buck. He looks to be big and mature. I kind of screwed things up. Julie was asking for the green light, and my thing is I was hoping we could get some more footage of this buck when he finally came out of the hole, but he came out and then he laid right back down.
Yeah.
He laid down looking right at us, kind of pinned us down.
Yeah. I mean, that never happens to us.
So anyway, I hope we didn't spook him. He's definitely consistent. He's done the same thing the last day, and so hopefully tomorrow we'll slide back in there and get another crack at him
Yeah, at least we maybe just had a chance to figure out his patterns, and
up close.
now we can just be early and and beat him back to his house.
We'll see what tomorrow brings.
That night was a little bit long because you go back and you rehash everything. Gosh, hindsight's always 20/20, should I have shot, but I didn't want to shoot until Rick and I both made that decision and we both knew it was a go. And so I'm good with it, but you always, like I said, that night, you're just hoping that deer does the same thing. You hope that he gives you another shot. So that next morning, we are back up on the hill glassing, and we are back in position, but we're up a little bit higher to where we were hoping we could get a better view down in the hole where he was laying. But still, we didn't want to get high enough where we would skyline ourselves and get caught, and the game is over before it even started. So we got into a position where we felt good, and we waited. Finally, the deer stood up, and we were both thinking he would go up out of the west side, and what do you know, he decides to go up out of the east. Unfortunately, the cow trail coming up out of the east doesn't give me a shot. There's a bank in front of it, it covers him the whole way. If he keeps going, then I have no shot because there's a big hill up on top and he's out of sight and it would be game over.
What's he doing? I lost him, so...
There was a time in there where he was behind the hill and we couldn't see him, and so you're always nervous, you're hoping, you're trying to guess where you think he's going to come out at. It seemed like forever in that time waiting, but finally we caught a glimpse of antler tips again through a soapweed, and this time he was walking right towards us.
Careful, don't move. He's looking this way. He's walking. sun went down. And I started to get cold, and then of course I get nervous when I see him moving. And the adrenaline goes nuts. He just dropped. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I didn't know he dropped over the bank. Oh my gosh, still just shaking. This is the draw that he lives in. He lives right up in the top of there. Oh, that's crazy. Look at that. Look at this, Rick. He's got, that is awesome. He's got velvet still back here. On the sides, he's got a lot of mass. Look at that, he's got an extra point here and he's got an extra point there. Oh my gosh. That is a cool deer. I just have so much respect for them. They are so pretty, so ate it more than you'll know.
You know, one of the things that's so important for Julie and I is the memories and the experiences that we are lucky enough to be a part of. And I think that's why we named the show Beyond the Hunt, because there are so many ways that we do go beyond the hunt.
It's been a good day.
And you know the funny thing is it's the last day of the season, and every hunt this year I have killed on the last day. It's just my year. Last day, Julie, and I'll wait till the last day every time.
Passing on the experience or being able to share something with somebody is so important to us, and to see this deer that once was out in a barn and bleached and talked about every time I showed up is now going to be hanging on the wall. Does that deer look familiar to you?
Is that mine?
That's yours.
Well, that little sucker.
BJ was part of the culprit. He actually snuck in the shop and helped us sneak it out for you.
You're asking me.
We always hear Denny tell us a story about this deer when we come down here. And he always tells us there's no big deer here, and if there were, we wouldn't know how to shoot him anyway.
I never knew my horns was gone.
We had our taxidermist put him together for you, and now you can put him in there in the house. Now you gotta go find a place to hang him up.
Yeah, I'm going.
We're glad that you can enjoy him for a while. We're gonna put him right in the back of the bobcat. Yeah.
I like your sign. Where's Pete?
Yeah, we get a lot of comments on that. My mother-in-law made that. The best thing.
What you doing there, Julie?
Filling my Yeti full of deer meat.